Yeah, hi everyone. So, welcome to Sridhar's newsletter number 26 and the podcast. So, basically, we are doing an audio recording of the post which I have written, and I really appreciate you guys to being here and listening to this particular audio. And so, we can connect here weekly on interesting topics. So, I'm going to share in the show notes my email ID. So you can directly add your email ID to the inbox so that you can directly get it to your inbox. So do subscribe over on Apple or the Spotify podcast, wherever you guys want to listen to. Our show name is Minimalist Techie. I'm going to leave the link for our podcast show in the show notes. Or hear it over the email which you are going to receive through my subscription, or always you can come to my website sridharkaripati.substack.com and you can just click on the video on the go audio while you're on the go, and you can just listen to the post if you're really not interested in reading. So this is I'm trying to change the way I post my articles so that I can only post one per week or by weekly, rather than posting one for a posting perspective writing and another one just not audio recording of the same post. So now we are clubbing it to one so that the article and the audio link both are available there. But one thing is that in the audio version we'll be talking a little bit more in detail than what it's been written. So yeah, the reason for doing this is definitely a human voice is definitely adds some more value to the listening than you listening to some automated voice. So yes, I am an Indian, so definitely you'll notice some type of slang when I speak. But let's get used to it. We are people from a different. We are in the one world. People from different countries. So this is a weekly newsletter, mostly about the articles, books, the videos, etc., which I read. So I'm reading damn two very good books this week. That's the reason I got very busy, either at work or either at home. And especially, my reading was restricted to read those books which are almost like 7 to 8 hours of length. And being at home, it's taking a little bit time this time to complete it. So basically, like as I said, mostly whatever I read, I watch. This is or my especially my viewpoints from a blogging perspective, and what are things which revolves around my head during the week. I include this in this type of a weekly newsletter to my non-friends. Let us dive into this week's reads. So, fear of failure, overcome insecurity. What do you think about yourself? What is your opinion about yourself matters the most than anyone else's view on you? I will take my own example. For me, project management is sacred at work. I have been that out of college resource at work, and throughout my journey have seen many project managers and learned what I would like to have qualities in me and what not as a project manager as I become one down the road. So every morning just before my stand up call, I remind myself to be kind, help my team win, control my emotions, etc. I can only do well when I position myself in my own view that I am that good person. I'm a good manager, or I'm a good resource first, and see my own gaps day to day basis, and work on those gaps on the next day. See, believing in self is very important as it is the first basic step. Same as how a baby learns to take steps with the help of the parents, there is a self acceptance first. Then one can take the steps on their own. Definitely, we have to come out of this fear of a failure. And I definitely still feel I'm 34 years old now. I still feel that I still need to learn or get that feeling in certain cases in my life. Like, how can people can simply start a business or run a business for a long term? Yes, the basic thing is to start investing and to get started and do your business, right? But it still there are certain things in my life which maybe it's easier for some other people to do, but Definitely, I have, in order for me to overcome certain insecurities. Maybe this is, I feel this is certain thing which are on my mind, but I never took a step so far. So basic thing is get started. So the reason why we're talking about is, I read one beautiful article on the LinkedIn. So individuals spend all their energy defending and proving themselves to others rather than on a individual growth and the leadership. So please see the link in the show notes, or we are going to give a high level read if you'd like to just hear it once. Basically, 7 steps to overcome insecurity. Okay, so look at the particular link. I'm not going to reveal it because that's not my content. But what I definitely feel, let me reiterate it. Most of the people at the current generation, they spend all their energy defending what others will think about them, rather than they have to think about themselves, their individual growth, and their leadership qualities to be improved. Okay, so that was pretty good read for me. And do not, this is a paid article, not I mean, you need to have subscription to this particular site to read. uh, so don't click on the link if you're interested to read other articles on the same website. But basically they allow top like 3 per month, something like that. So do note on that and click wisely if you want to read about it. A separate second topic is brain drain in pandemic time. So this one is really coming from me because I was having some conversation these days, and it. So I went back to this topic of brain drain in the pandemic time. So, and I thought, let me just put some of my thoughts, what's currently going on. So brain drain, in a simple words, the immigration of a highly educated, skilled, trained, intelligent people, right? Moving from one country to another country for living. So, this known phenomenon has hugely impacted third world countries in past many decades and few developed countries as well. There is no solution any country has so far to resolve this particular issue. So, why are we talking about this old age issue right now? Just take an example of an Indian IT workforce, where on-site opportunity is on everyone's list. It is simple. People want to escape their current job market, which is having lack of opportunities, or in case of an Indian IT employees, one move abroad, they actually make almost more than 5 times than their Indian teammates. So it can be an opportunity, or it can be a higher opportunity, it can be higher pay, or in some countries, just to be in a safe zone, there might be multiple reasons plays a majority of a role of a person taking a decision to settle abroad. So settling abroad is not that much easy, but I said the reason differs from person to person, family to family. So it's not a simple road. Many different things fall while making the particular decision. See, moving abroad for a couple of years, or say 4 years, or when someone is very young, have no dependency at back home, can push even more years very easily. But as they grow after fourth year of abroad, they get a chance, or they get a change even for temporary moved worker to look at multiple things to consider to go back home or continue to be abroad. See, brain drain is a known topic for many of us, and irrespective of which country we are from, we are aware of ourselves or someone in our close contact staying abroad. In last 10 months, COVID-19 pandemic has made many of us stay put where they are to avoid any air travel. But still, I have known many of my friends also in these times making move from one state to another state, or in some case one country to another country. So there are many people who took the moving in this pandemic to their back home, right? So it can be in country to country or state to state, as I saying. So ring to any one of your friend. If you be on call for just few minutes only with them, the impression is for sure one conveys is that the quality of life has improved way better compared to their earlier work location. Yes, many are at homes since last 10 months where they were never before and have been spending in the local markets. It is a topic of discussion in every home dinner table nowadays to talk about how long they are going to be here. Can they continue to work from their home location or will they go back once the pandemic is over? No one can answer it very easily. I will just talk about my world of people I know. It will seriously depend on this pandemic remote work revolution can move further once the vaccinations are given. Will the companies going to support for the jobs which can be done remote or to be performed remote or will they go back to the square one to be at a work site always? See, although people have moved out of their work location to the home location, but they are still working for their abroad company being report. Hmm? Let's take an example. I'm just 1 mile away from my work office, but in last 10 months I have never been to the office. I'm working from home, and there are some of my friends who are actually went back to their home location, went back to their home states, but they are not making money by working to the employer who is sitting in their prime location. They are still working for their abroad company itself. The company is there in a different state, different country, just being remote. See, once the workforces or workplaces are back to open, lot depends on how their company will make a decision, how one will feel about their career progress by being remote or being at work site will play a major role. People have moved to abroad once due to their home job market issue, unemployment issue, or a bureaucracy issue at their home place. They need to change as they will play major role in the person decision making process as to be at home or move back to abroad once the pandemic is over. So is someone going to step in? Governments needs to look at it, companies needs to reinvent. The the multiple places are there where people love to be at home, right? So almost every one of us would like to stay in the place where we live, work in the same place, see their place getting developed, have a better opportunities where they live for themselves and for their children. I would recommend actually in Good Economics for Hard Times, a book by author Banerjee and Dufflo. They had walked through immigration topics so well. I would refer you to give this book a read to understand many of the complex topics which without right facts are misunderstood by many. Immigration is one of them. Many are thinking that this pandemic has resolved the brain drain issue. If you talk to just one person, you will know that it's too far to be resolved. Yeah. So I guess many states, countries are doing something. They're trying to improve their internet connectivity or trying to open some workplaces. People can drop in like in a coffee site type of work locations and connect to the Wi-Fi locations and start working from their location, paid location, something like that. But no one is really creating a true employment. Basically, this is just like applying patch. It's mostly like doing a patchwork, I would say. This is a topic definitely it's interest me a lot, and immigration is definitely a topic which is misunderstood by many actually. So really, we have to dig into the facts. Only then you'll come to know. There are many people even you pay a higher money, but they won't be moving out of their current home location. It takes a hell lot of an effort. There are many scenarios where you think that people from a different country are in your country and they are taking your jobs. No, they are creating more jobs. They are increasing your salary in the market as well. Yeah. So definitely that's the reason I say it's a very easier topic. That's the reason why many of the politicians in many of the countries simply this is the hot topic for them, simply fool the people of their country for the election process. But if you read from an economist perspective, when they really give you an actual numbers and then please try to understand this complex topic. That's the reason I said do refer that particular book. If you get an audio version, do listen to it. If not, give a read. Definitely, it's a very good book. I would recommend. This was mentioned in Gate Notes as well. The Bill Gates also reviewed this topic and this particular book and appreciated very well. It's one of the damn good book which I have read in last 1 or 2 years. So yeah, remembering immigration on leaving home. I remember sharing Varsam Shrine poem in our earlier newsletter. Once again, it apt for this topic to be shared again. Let me give a small reading from it so you can. I'm going to leave the link in the show notes so you can have a look at it. Then, no one leaves home unless home is mouth of shark. You only run for the border when you see the whole city running as well. Your neighbors running faster than you, breath bloody in their throats. The boy you went to school with, who kissed you dizzy behind old tin factory, is holding a gun bigger than his body. You only leave home when you won't let you stay. No one leaves home unless home chases you, fire under feet, hot blood in your belly. It's not something you ever thought of doing until the blade burned threads into your neck. And even then, you carried an anthem under your breath, only tearing up your passport in an airport toilet, sobbing as each mouthful of paper made it clear that you wouldn't be going back. You have to understand that no one puts the children in a boat unless the water is safer than the land. No one burns their palms under the trains beneath the carriages. No one spends days and nights in the stomach of a truck feeding on the newspaper unless the miles traveled means something more than a journey. No one crawls under fences, no one wants to be beaten pitted, no one chooses refugee camps or strip searches where your body is left aching or prison because prison is safer than a city of fire and one prison guard in the night is better than truckload of men who look like your father. No one could take it, no one could stomach it, no one can skin would be tough enough. The go home blacks, refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, sucking our country dry niggers with their hands out. They smell strange, savage. Messed up their country, and now they want to mess ours up. How do the words, the dirty looks, roll off your backs? Maybe because the blow is softer than a limb torn off, or the words are more tender than the 14 men between your legs. Or insults are easier to swallow than rubble, than bone, than your child body in pieces. I want to go home, but home is the mouth of shark, home is the barrel of the gum, and no one would leave home unless home chased you to the shore, unless home told you to quicken your legs, leave your clothes behind, crawl through the desert, and wade through the oceans down, save with the hunger bag, forget pride. Your survival is more important. No one leaves home until home is a sweaty voice in your ear saying, leave, run away from me now. I don't know what I have become, but I know that anywhere is safer than here. See, this author is from Somalia, where the war was going on throughout her entire life. She grew up and with a lot of terror in the backdrop. A lot of terrible things have happened to the people who are very close to her. Definitely, this poem I mentioned multiple times in it, and maybe I have not read it properly. But I'm going to leave the link in the show notes. And the only reason why I'm mentioning is like in this particular poem, the author she's she's mentioning about the horrible things which happen at certain places where people have to move. But same thing happens to the brain drain as well. Someone's even but brain drain, you say that no, they are well educated, they are making good money, they are not really of this type of. But there is some mental stress attached to it because you can get pain. You don't have to get a pain physically, right? Pain mentally is also not possible. So there are many factors get into a people's mind when they make this decision about leaving their entire home and going and working in abroad. So definitely many things that the brain drain topic is going to get resolved, and the pandemic has really helped, but this is too far to be resolved. No one has really taken any good steps to change a person's opinion why their home country is better to be work compared to whatever location they are working right now. So, yeah, lot has to be work done in this area for sure. So moving on to third topic, power of saying no. Let me share some of my history in this week's newsletter. Every one of us are so easy at saying yes. It is affirmative that you are friendly, supportive, and whatnot. But especially when you say no to something, you close one door between you and others. Saying no isn't a skill to be learned. Yes, you cannot simply use it as it requires courage, your communication skills, and whatnot. As you once say no to someone, it is difficult to engage further communication. Coming back to my story. So we were a team of uh, almost like 1 to 2 years. I would say we are teams almost the size of 14 members. Some resources are in between 1 to 2 years of experience, some are in 3 to 5. At that point, I was having some 4 years, I guess, of experience, and a few in a 5 to 8 years of experience range. Almost some 14-member team. It was in the year 2011. We were in a project UAT, so user acceptance test support phase. Our users were from the different countries. So team was requested to give support 24 by 7 in shifts. Entire team was in conference room that day morning, 9:30 a.m., where the plan for VUAT was discussed at high level. Each subject matter expert was assigned to look at their areas and give support in others. So finally, when the shift timing discussions came in, my manager just simply said, few in a general shift, few in an afternoon shift, and a rest in the night shift. So I was in the night shift slot with at least four others. Timing for the night shift was from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. So this part was shared in the last 5 minutes. So let me reiterate. My issue is not the night shift. My issue is the timing of the night shift was from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. Okay, that is 14 hours. This part was shared in the last 5 minutes when the meeting was about to end and manager asked if we all good and have no questions, then we can leave now. Almost everyone was ready to leave that room that day. I raised my hand and said, I have a concern in the shift plan timings, which I would like to discuss. I would say my entire team was having a blank face, and the manager mentioned, sure, all team can leave. If no one else has a question, then you and me can stop here and discuss. So everyone left the room. I'm not sure what was going on their mind for sure that point of time. So all left the room. I simply remember taking a deep breath. That's what I do normally. If I taking that long breath or deep breath, basically it allows me to push my confidence to little higher. Yeah. So the manager asked me, "What is the concern?" I simply said, "We should be planning for our billable hours. If it is, which is 8.5 or 9 hours per day. If it is a support and we require extended support for the project, then we should discuss this with the higher management and to get an additional billable hours to be approved. On the project plan for the 3 week support, at the time of planning a resource, he is normally allocated for around 9 hours per day time in a day, or normally your plan itself is saying that resources are over allocated. If the plan requires a greater number of hours, we should discuss with the billing team. In the planning phase, we cannot simply start with my planned effort itself as 14 hours per day per resource. So the planned effort should be done against the available resources and the available billable hours. See, if the work is there during any day a little more than what it's supposed to be do, then automatically as a responsible teammates, we will extend more than the planned effort itself. But To begin with 14 hours in the planning phase itself, we cannot start with more than 9 hours. My intention was you plan as per your 9 hours, so you have a realistic plan. If really here and there somewhere it will go, then yes, will people will definitely pitch in, because it's a team's effort, and as a responsible team we will all extend here and there and will try to accomplish the task, right? But you cannot simply start your planned effort itself as 14 hours per day. Yeah, actual some things actuals can always go for a toss, but planning is meant that you are planning it well. So my manager simply said, "Got it. Let me go back and work the numbers." I don't think we really didn't had a conversation. I'm not sure what was the managers on their mind, because the answer was in just in these simple lines. Let me go back and work the numbers. Maybe the feedback was well taken. And see, hour later, the timing of my shift was changed to 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. And other shift was also changed to in line with their actual billable hours. So I remember at least couple of lines during that day lunch meeting. Some of the people, some of them are like very junior, like 1 year of experience, just started their career. They cannot say no because they are afraid, but they're still learning and they are little bit afraid to say no. And because for them they are in the learning phase and they don't want to lose their job. Even some of the people who are experienced, so it's a team of 14 members, as I said, but not even a single person came forward to say a no. But definitely I don't remember discussing in detail, but remember at least couple of lines. Some guy definitely mentioned. First, when you said no, I really appreciate for you saying no. No, no, no one talked about it. And in the evening as well, entire team were there. Next day, mornings onwards, the shifts got started. Everyone coming in the morning. The night shift people are leaving. Then proper handshakes were happening. In the 3 weeks, I don't remember not even a single person complaining, at least in front of my face. Because I was the one who changed that entire schedule to be on track for us. So, but 3 weeks simply went. It was a successful phase, and we come out of it. So this was just one of the example actually. So I remember saying multiple time in my career, many people have mentioned that Sridhar, you really know when to accept certain the responsibility, when to say no. I got this feedback from many people. Recently as well, I got it from one of my colleagues. So I would say everyone should have this skill set. You should learn to say no for sure in your life. I'm not asking you to simply say no to everyone for everything, even for yourself. You have to assess it very well. Okay, this is a skill set. Do say no if something is pushing your values or principles. Yeah. If someone is using you for their work, I would say they are abusing you, because you are very easy to say yes to them always. Basically, they are abusing you. They are utilizing your weakness to say no and simply utilizing for their effort. Or, or, or have courage, I would say no to yourself when you are not on a right path towards your goal. Have a courage to say no to change the course. Yeah. So this so far was my thought. So I thought, uh, let me just keep this weekly newsletter a little bit short. So I'm not going in deep. Definitely, this is a skill. So I found very good article as I was searching for the power of saying no. If someone else has written, very good. So I don't like to reword their exact writing again, because they have written it very well. So I'm just going to recommend that link in the show notes. Please give a read. So that is all for this week. See you again, and do subscribe over the Apple Podcast or Spotify. Our show name is Minimalist Techie. You guys can listen to this audio version, or you can read the article directly on my website, sridhargarikipati.substack.com. So do let me know in show notes or in the comments section, or reply me or email to share what is your view on this post. So share, like, subscribe, whatever these days kid says. Stay connected, share ideas, and spread happiness. Thank you.